new DC animated series announced on the same week. That should be a reason for celebration, right? It should be, that opportunity that we have for saying, yes, finally we're having, again, that animated universe that we all loved. Well, not in this case, even despite the fact that in one of them, the old Bruce Timm that we all know from the fame of the DC animated universe that started with the Batman animated series from 1992 and that culminated with the incredible Justice League series that was really, really good for everyone that was a kid during the 90s and during the early 2000s. Well, despite that fact, there is cause for concern. Why is that? Well, because simply put, it is a terrible thing that J.J. Abrams, yes, J.J. Abrams, the same guy that destroyed Star Wars, is going to executive produce this thing alongside Bruce Timm. And also, we have Matt Reeves that is directing the most recent Batman film that stars Robert Pattinson. Sorry. And a slew of race-swapped, race-bent characters and other delicacies like that. Sorry if I am not one of those that is happy with this, but I really think that J.J. Abrams behind anything is cause for concern. And you might say, well, he's just going to be there putting his name. But when you see that a company that I don't know if it's Matt Reeves' company or what, and a bad reboot are behind this, well, I think that hope is just fading away quickly on the horizon. Batman Cape Crusader is going to be a new Batman series that is going to deal with the psychology of Batman, which is something good, right? I mean, in the end, everyone knows that Batman is not really that stable after the trauma of having seen his parents murdered in front of his face, in front of his eyes. And everyone also knows that this is a very fertile territory, very fertile field for exploring the Batman character alongside his Rogues Gallery, which is one of the best out there in the comic book industry. But there is also this, let's say, theory, tendency that some writers have of saying Batman justifies with his mere existence the Rogues Gallery that he has, because he is as unstable, as crazy as the very same people that he's fighting. And that, when it is treated properly, is something that sparks lots of great storytelling. Bits of that we had during the Batman 1992 animated series that is, in my opinion, the best that is out there. However, this is neither a continuation nor a reboot nor anything like that. It's something entirely new. But as well as that, we are having there nuanced characters being depicted. So you can expect a lot of race swapping, gender swapping maybe. A lot of, these characters are having different conversations they never had before. And I know the drill. It's something that we also saw with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe reboot, Masters of the Universe Revelation, and remake and continuation, that characters are going to have conversations, deep conversations. And it's not something that sits well with me. I don't think that it sits well with any of the fans, not only of the original Batman the Animated Series, but also Batman fans, and that's it. In general, that's all. So when you see that we have a new Batman series, you might say, yay, finally again, but I wouldn't be so eager, and I would be just waiting for this to develop a little bit more, because it's just possible that we don't have what we are expecting. And in the same vein also, we have this news that HBOMax is working alongside Cartoon Network in developing this My Adventures with Superman animated show that is intended to be for all the family, but of course mainly aimed at younger kids. This show is a show that is being produced with Cartoon Network. Sam Register, that is the president of Cartoon Network, is behind that. But interestingly enough, also one of the writers for She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, which was the Netflix show, is behind this as well. Now, if you tell me, well, it figures because I look at this image and I see a lot of resemblance, yes, you are quite on point. But besides that, the same people that are voicing the characters of Star Trek Lower Decks are here as well. A lot of, getting related, all of this thing getting connected in a certain way, because it's also quite, reminiscent of the Star Trek Lower Decks thing. Once again, it is not something that, personally speaking, I would like to watch. Perhaps it is something that kids enjoy, but given the success of things like Lower Decks, Tumblr Cats, and other stuff like that, I think that maybe that is not that true. Whether it is the animation style or the stories being told, kids don't really like these things. What kids enjoy is when, for instance, something like Steven Universe, which I have never watched, but they have told me that it has interesting storytelling. That is what drives kids into watching this sort of thing. The same with Gravity Falls. I saw that show, at least bits of it, and it was interesting. I believe the stories were well told, and there was like all this lore and mystic behind it that compensated for the poor, in my own opinion, CalArts style of animation and character design. Nonetheless, this thing that we have here shows us a very masculine Lois Lane there next to Clark Kent, and in the background, right there behind them, all too eager, all too quiet, all too stupid, Jimmy Olsen. Once again, race swapped like what happened with the CW's Supergirl. And Jimmy Olsen is yet again another case of a ginger getting eliminated because ginger, and they are evil and they should be obliterated from existence. After all, they are like what? Like 200, like 2% of the population? Who cares, right? They are, ghosts, spirits that nobody should care about, of course. So once again, we have this case of race swapping a character, and once again we have this horrible design that makes him look quirky, not very masculine, of course, makes him look rather childish, stupid, and like the epitomization of what the SJWs and the weirdos think should be queer. So expect this character to be non-binary or non-binary trans or some other stupid dumb shite like that, because they are stupid like that. Believe it. You have to believe that they really are that idiotic, and believe me that your life will also be lots easier. Given these results in these stills for my adventures with Superman, I don't really think that it is going to sit well with many Superman fans, and considering also that pretty soon Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to race swap Superman, that is Kal-El, Clark Kent. He's not going to go with any of the other black versions of Superman that already exist in the multiverse, no. We can expect that the show will not last past its 2 seasons that were commissioned by HBOMax. And then you wonder why they had to merge WB with Discovery to make for a better competitor out of HBOMax, because both Netflix and Disney Plus were killing it. With this stupidity, no wonder that it has to happen. With these idiotic takes, no wonder that it has happened. And that HBOMax is not really up to the standard that they were all expecting and up to the, let's say, optimum condition that they were all expecting. Well, here is a fan that doesn't give a shite very much about any of these two shows, and even though it has also been reported that there is an Injustice animated film in the works, I don't really know if I should be interested in that, provided that, for instance, Superman Red Son was a little bit of a disappointment, and the recent DC animated films have also been hit and miss for the most part. We shall wait and see what's in store. An Injustice thing would be really good to watch, but I don't really hold out my breath on any product that recent Warner Media is producing right now. Of course, let me know your opinions down below in the comments. Everyone, until next time, peace out.